What's up, guys? Fooch from Fooch TV here, and
I'm back!
yes, I finally moved and I'm finally settled. I'm very sorry for such a long leave of absence. It was partially a lot of stuff to move, a lot of stuff to unpack, a lot of laziness on my behalf. However, today we are jumping right back into the top stories and scandals in South Korea. So what we're going to be talking today about is volleyball and bullying. Actually, bullying is a very serious problem all over the world, as you may know, and especially here in South Korea, not just for children though, just like you would think, or at least what you would hope for at the very least. But yes, it happens a lot in the adults world too. It's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, you've heard stories before about, in K-pop, people bullying. I don't personally follow K-pop news myself, so I don't know any of those stories, but I've heard, Irene from, oh my God, I shouldn't have just even talked. I wasn't prepared to talk about that news story. It just came out. Irene from some group yelled at her makeup artist, according to a friend who is probably watching this right now. So thanks for nothing, buddy. We're not talking about that. Today we're going to be talking about volleyball. So you guys may have heard about this story because it was actually in international news. At least it was in the South China Morning newspaper. Today we are going to be talking about professional volleyball players Jaeyoung and Dayoung. They're part of the Heungguk life insurance Pink Spiders. Very awesome name, unrelated note. However, these players were caught bullying teammates both back when they were playing in elementary school and middle school, and also now that they're on the professional team. So let's take a look, or let me take a look, and I'll have you listen and watch this beautiful face discuss some of the news that was reported on by the South China Morning newspaper. The story came out when a anonymous, allegedly previous middle school teammate of the girls, they're actually twins, came out and posted anonymously online on both the DC Insider, which is kind of like 4chan, a less raunchier version of 4chan, and then later on other outlets on the Korean internet. One of the anonymous posters said, "Don't you remember you hit me in the mouth, sending my glasses flying off my nose?" One of the victims wrote, referring to an event where she apparently had not cheered loudly enough for the team. Another incident, one of the twins wielded a knife, threatening a teammate who refused to do an errand for her at night. The twins often physically abused their teammates, forcibly collected money from them so they could buy snacks, and told them to stay away because they were smelly and dirty. Well, if you smell and you're dirty, bullying is never acceptable. However, this was the part of this story that I had read, and at the moment I read it, I realized, or I thought that yes, bullying is bad. However, the calls to cancel their careers seemed a little bit over exaggerated. You know how people get. I mean, you've seen my videos, you've seen the Sam Ochiri, you've seen Yeongeong Namjo, and people are pissed here. They are pissed, and it's a witch hunt, and they want to burn people, they want heads on pikes, the whole shebang. So there is a lot of public outcry about this right now, which is a lot of people are demanding their permanent banning of the players from the National Volleyball League altogether. Apparently, as of right now, they are currently taking a leave, not voluntarily. And what I wanted to say up until this point of the story was, believe it or not, I had been bullied in primary school and secondary school, from elementary school to high school. And although it's not a pleasant experience, I would say that overall it has probably helped me improve myself and become a stronger person. And I don't think, people grow up, and obviously depending on how the degree of the bullying, but people grow up and they tend to forget, or some people don't, but I did. But I'm viewing this in my lens, which is I don't think that the girls should have been permanently banned based on the story that I had just read up until now. And that's the opinion I had last night when first reading about it. However, according to Reddit user Chuck Freak, thank you, Chuck Freak, assuming that this is correct. If this is, false information, fake news, then F you, Chuck Freak. He says, the story begins when one of these girls, Lee Dayoung, accused another girl on her team for bullying her. The team's older best player, Kim Yeongeong, who happens to be rated one of the best players in the world. Lee kept putting a post in her Instagram about how she was going to tell her about all the bullying, or tell the world about all the bullying that Kim had done. Kim did not respond and ignored the accusations, leading to people to believe, aka fans, that Kim was indeed guilty of the bullying. However, then a blast from the past, I like this guy's writing, a blast from the past, somebody in her middle school came forward to tell about how she was bullied by Lee, and then the rest is history, meaning that right now I think there are about 4 people accusing the Lee twins of bullying them in middle school. Not only are these twin girls kicked off the team, as I just mentioned earlier, they will not be receiving their salaries, which totals $1 million, kind of a lot of money. Kim Yeongeong, by the way, she came to Korea after playing abroad and was offered $600,000. Apparently, she's really good. But she insisted on taking a cut and receiving only $300,000, talking about US, to help her teammates who were financially struggling. So the best player on the team was getting paid less than these 2 girls who earned $400,000 and $600,000 respectively. Kim is also active in helping growing young volleyball players around the country, and she has done a lot of good to promote the game. Oh, that's good. So after reading this and how that the Lee twins were going to accuse the best player on the team, who seems to be a saint, a very nice lady, of bullying herself, bringing it to the public domain, this kind of makes me change my opinion, and it makes me feel that the Lee girls should get punished, because now we're not talking about stuff that they did in middle school. Now we're talking about stuff that's happening right now. Another twist of the story. This is thanks to our great friend Chuck Freak. Another twist of the story is that it was found that their mother, a former national volleyball player in 1988, was also a bully when she was younger. It runs in the family. The apple does not fall too far from the tree. So the mother and her two girls were bullies. Now, I read stories online as well that apparently the mother was also bullying other team members, both on the current team and in teams in middle school, kind of orchestrating everything to make sure that her twin girls were receiving a lot of the playtime, but also having the other players do things for them, such as do their laundry. I've heard people saying that they had to clean the goggles and other knee pads and what other equipment is needed for volleyball. I'm not a big volleyball person myself, so I can't really say what that all entails. And the mother got her grandparent. Why is it a grandparent award? I guess it means a great parents or a grandparent. Okay, this translator is not always the best. It said the mother got her grandparent award taken away as a result of these allegations of bullying coming out. Not a grandparent in the traditional sense, but a grandparent. So I do think that these girls should be punished as a result of the bullying still going on nowadays. I can't understand why people in their adulthood bully others. This, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it's happening in the K-pop industry. There's a big scandal a couple of years ago where in hospitals, nurses were bullying each other for some reason. I don't have any idea why. My only guess is that these people are losers. The bullies are losers themselves. They have nothing to do in their lives. They're, maybe they're in a terrible, loveless marriage. Maybe they're not married at all. Maybe they're ugly. Maybe they're fat. Maybe there's a whole... Now I'm bullying. There's a whole list of reasons why these people may be bullying, but they're absolutely all terrible, and there's no reason for an adult to be bullying. Now, in terms of punishment from these girls, I meant their entire life is volleyball. That's presumably the only thing that they're good at least on a very competitive level. So if they received a permanent ban from volleyball, not only are they going to be hated by the entire country for about a month until everybody forgets and moves on to the next thing, but they're also going to be losing their livelihood. And yes, what they did was absolutely terrible and wrong and despicable, and fill whatever adjective you want to fill in the next blank. However, for them to lose their entire livelihoods and not be able to redeem themselves seems to go against the ideas that a society built on Christianity has. I'm not a Christian myself, but it seems that, we send people to jail in order to find redemption, and then they come out and they should be cured of, or they should be forgiven for the crime they've committed. But if you sentence someone to death, that means that they can never be redeemed. And I'm not saying I'm against the death sentence. I love the death sentence for people that deserve it. Some people that have been mentioned on this show or previous episodes, such as Cho Do-soon, he should have been killed. He does not get to redeem himself. But bullying, regardless of how extreme the bullying is, can these girls not be able to redeem themselves? I'm not sure. I want to know what you guys think. And there have already been reports of erratic behavior from these girls. It's unclear whether or not they're faking it in order to kind of wait until their punishment has been decided, or to get some sort of leniency from the public, or if it's just reporters speculating. However, when you're this hated in Korea, besides, insane people like Cho Do-soon, usually it leads people to commit suicide. Remember, I've said on videos before that, one's public image in Korea is the most important thing you have. That's why criminals get to protect their face. Criminals get to protect their faces from cameras, and it gets blurred out and they can wear a mask and hat. They protect their face from the public unless the crime is extreme enough, because how you're viewed by other people is the most important thing in this society. And now these girls are extremely hated by the entire public. They may lose their livelihood, which is playing volleyball. They can't get paid this year to add insult to injury. So don't be surprised if in a couple of days or in a week or in a month I'm making another video about this story, reporting on the suicide of these girls, because the public anger has now boiled over. It's boiling. Not boiled over. It's boiling. It may boil over. And when people are this upset and emotional, we're acting irrationally. Again, I'm not defending the girls. I'm just giving alternatives and a full perspective. That's what we do here at Fuji TV, and I hope that's why you enjoy watching this show. With that being said, again, let me know what you think about this case. Leave it in a comment below. Like this video, dislike this video, subscribe, upscribe. Do what you got to do. Now that this studio is set up, we will be pumping out videos. By we, I mean me, and occasionally my video editor. We'll be pumping up videos. We've got some crazy stories. There's stories backlogged, like Kuhara Burning Sun. There's another crazy story that came out with Hwang Hana, a granddaughter of one of the dairy chaebols, a massive corporation, who seems to be addicted to meth and has ties to Burning Sun, and a massive drug dealer who was just arrested in the Philippines. That's all coming up shortly on Fuj TV. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.